Well, should Catholic priests be forced to report crimes admitted to them in the sanctity of the confessional? That question is being considered by Victoria's parliamentary inquiry into the handling of child abuse by religious and other organisations.
Well, joining us now on the phone is Father Kevin Bourke. He's the parish priest for Our Lady of Faith of Christians in the Melbourne suburb of Eltham. Father Bourke, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Why should whatever is divulged in confessionals stay secret?
Well, I think the Church law requires that we don't say or do anything that would identify the person and the sin, so that people feel, safe or confident in approaching us. That whatever they say, it'll stay within the sacredness of that sacrament.
What do you think, therefore, of the Victorian Parliamentary Committee putting this out there for debate in this inquiry, raising the sanctity of the confessional as a possible source of investigation?
Well, I suppose it's up to them to look at all possible options, but I don't think that'd be feasible. I think every Catholic priest would treat that matter as sacred and sacrosanct, and I think wouldn't go along with any direction to reveal it.
Father Bourke, if a pedophile priest walked into your confessional booth and committed to egregious, horrendous sex abuse crimes, you wouldn't report that to the police?
No, I wouldn't.
And that wouldn't trouble your conscience at all?
Well, you'd obviously... hardly anyone comes to the sacrament these days. So
that's not the point.
No, it's a hypothetical question. But no, you'd obviously work it through with them and recommend them to go and acknowledge what they've been up to and seek help and take responsibility for it.
But isn't taking responsibility for these dreadful crimes, and we all know about the crimes committed by a certain number of Catholic priests, is an ultimate responsibility in the court system?
Sure, yeah, and
And shouldn't priests help to bring that justice about?
Well, yeah, when we're in a situation where that's possible, but I think we also have to acknowledge they've got certain sacred responsibilities that I don't think the state should sort of intrude upon.
Would you be prepared to go to jail if it meant a choice of protecting the secrets of a pedophile priest and reporting those to the police?
Well, it's interesting how you frame the question, but look, it's one thing. I don't know too much about this inquiry. They've got limited time, haven't they? They're under-resourced. They've got other matters to deal with. I guess they're going to look at all options and throw them up and see what they come up with. But so it's purely hypothetical at this stage, isn't it?
Well, Father Frank Brennan, you may not have seen 7:30 last night. He was interviewed by Lee Sales, and he, very as you are, strongly defending the sanctity of the confessional booth. He said he, as one, would be prepared to go to jail if it meant upholding that sanctity. Do you think a lot of priests would share that view?
Oh, I think if it had came to that, yes. I'm sure, pretty well all priests would be prepared if that eventuality, that's how it worked out.
OK, we're just running out of time, Father Bourke, but I just want to ask you, can you understand, and you've given your view here, but can you understand how that support of the sanctity of the confessional in these circumstances is jarring to a lot of Australians?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Look, a lot of people wouldn't understand. Perhaps it hasn't been communicated well. But I understand how they would say, oh, it's crazy, and why the Church has had enough privileged, and exemptions over the years and should be treated the same as everyone else.
Well, see, the ultimate question, I guess, is that do you believe the Church is above the law?
No, Church isn't above the law, no.
And on that answer taken to its logical conclusion is that priests should therefore help law enforcement agencies and the courts achieve the purpose of bringing perpetrators of sexual abuse on children to justice.
Yeah, well, it's it's a difficult matter, and hopefully it won't it won't ever come to that.
Father Kevin Bourke from the Melbourne suburb of Eltham, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Michael. Good on.